Hi, and welcome back to this Monday edition of Focal Point on AFR Talk. Brian Fisher is my name, congenial, convivial, and amiable. As always, we are delighted to have you on board today. You are part of the counterinsurgency. You are part of the rebellion. You are part of the rebel force. We are involved in a great campaign of sabotage, according to C.S. Lewis, to take this culture, to take this society, to take this nation, and to take this earth back for its rightful sovereign and king. So here's where we get our marching orders from our commander, the rider on the white horse. So glad to have you in the conversation. And I want to jump right into some clips today to get this thing off and running. Rob, why don't we grab clip number one? Now, we've seen what a total absolute disaster the rollout of Obamacare has been. This thing has been an unmitigated disaster, an unmitigated failure. I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching history being made. I mean, you are watching, we have never, ever seen a political disaster of this magnitude ever. This staggering level of incompetence, this staggering level of ineptitude, this colossal failure to execute, this disastrous, epic, gargantuan political miscalculation. We are watching it unfold before our very eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, people are going to be writing about this moment, this week in history, 100 years from now, about the epic collapse of socialism and socialized medicine in the United States. We are watching it happen right in front of our very eyes. Now, I want to go back. Here's a montage, clip one. Kathleen Sebelius assuring everybody, this was what she was saying back in the day. This is back in August. This is back in September about the Obamacare rollout. Let's listen.
We're on track to flip the switch on October 1st.
We are on track to have the marketplace up and running on October 1st. I'm confident that we will be up and running and on track on October 1st.
Do you have a contingency if the exchanges are not ready, up and running with a fully informed public by October 1st?
As I answered before, Congressman, we will be open for open enrollment October 1st.
So you can assure this committee there will be no further deadlines missed, no further delays in the implementation of the exchanges?
We are on track to meet the October 1st deadline. The easiest, most consumer-friendly website to use in multiple languages with the kind of helpline that pops up, when you're shopping online that can... Regardless of what you hear, in every state in the country, there will be a new health marketplace open for business on October 1st.
All right, so that's Kathleen Sebelius repeatedly saying October 1, we're going to be ready to rock and roll. We're on track. It's going to happen. The marketplace is going to be open. And now what we're seeing is a complete and utter, an absolute colossal disaster. Now, the administration has been out there saying, hey, we had 476,000 people that signed up for Obamacare. Now, what they mean by that is they actually started the application process. There's a big difference between setting up an account and actually enrolling in a health care plan. And they are not telling us how many people have actually purchased health insurance through healthcare.gov, through the Obamacare website. They are not telling us a thing about how many people have actually gotten health insurance by going to this website. Best estimates are somewhere between 36,000 and 51,000 here in the first 3 weeks of the roll. This was an absolute disaster. Their goal was to get to 500,000 with insurance in hand by the end of this month. Now, clip number two, this is CBS This Morning. This is Jan Crawford. She's evaluating what's going on with Obamacare. Now, remember, this is CBS. This is not Breitbart.com. This is not right-wing news. This is not the Heritage Foundation. This is not National Review Online. This is not One News Now, our news division. This is CBS. These are people that are completely in the tank for Obama. And here's what they say about the Obamacare website.
The website is generating duplicate and incomplete enrollment forms, suggesting the problems are pervasive. The so-called glitches have in fact made the website unusable for most. Out of 17 million visitors, a top industry analyst estimates just 20,000 people have actually enrolled. The White House is refusing to release official enrollment numbers until next month. However, CBS News has learned the problems go beyond the enrollment process. Most troubling, analysts say, insurance companies report receiving duplicate sign-up forms from the government and records of people enrolling, unenrolling, and then re-enrolling. Those forms contain highly personal information. Gary Lauer is CEO of eHealth, the country's largest online seller of health insurance. The company has a contract with the federal government to help enroll people in ObamaCare, but Lauer says problems with the government's website have slowed their efforts.
We received the data and some other things that we needed 2 days before the actual implementation, so very late September. We needed it weeks before.
So this is a guy in private health insurance, and this is turning out to be a complete disaster for them. Realize that the way Obama sold this to the health insurance companies, I was always confused, frankly, at the beginning. Why would a health insurance company want to sign up for this program, cooperate with this program? What would their incentive be? Because this is taking control of the entire health insurance industry away from them and putting it in the hands of an all-knowing, all-seeing, all-feeling, all-wise central government. And now they thrive on free enterprise and competition. It was it was hard for me to understand. And then I realized that the way Obama is selling this, sold it to the insurance companies, is I am going to drive literally millions of new consumers to your front door. You are going to be flooded with people getting insurance for the first time, and they're going to be coming to you. I'm going to drive them to you. We're going to have this fancy pants online portal. They can get right to your products. They can buy it right online. You're going to have millions and millions and millions of new customers. You are going to be making bank on this deal. And remember, we saw, I think it was in California, Blue Cross there, or Blue Shield, one of the blues, had put like $60 million into that website, into the California exchange. And there's like 100 people so far that have actually signed up, enrolled in insurance in California. So these health insurance companies now are realizing they were sold a complete bill of goods. It's a disaster. They're going to lose money hand over fist on this deal because nobody is buying insurance because nobody can. They can't even get to the place where they can actually buy an insurance policy. And when they do complete a form and the information is actually sent to the insurance companies is saying, look, this information is bad. You've got this guy with 3 spouses, which frankly could happen in 2013. You've got children being identified as spouses. You have spouses being identified as children. You've got people enrolling multiple times and then unenrolling. And because none of the forms are time-stamped, we don't know which the latest form is. We don't know if the latest information we've gotten is the enrolling information or the unenrolling information. So the health insurance companies, they're having to go back and do this manually. They're having to call people up on the phone to try to get the correct information. They're having to hire new people to come in and help them to process all of these forms. So in other words, the health insurance companies, we haven't heard much from them, but I will flat out guarantee you they are in a all-out panic. And the other group that's in an all-out panic are liberals, because this is dream come true for them. This is nirvana. This is Karl Marx incarnate. This is socialism on steroids. And so this is the red letter achievement of the entire 21st century as far as liberals and socialists, I repeat myself, in our culture. And this thing is turning into the Titanic. And they're on board. There's not a thing they can do about it. They're going down with the ship. So they're wigging out. They're freaking out. Health insurance companies are wigging out. Health insurance companies are freaking out. And even the mainstream media, we played that soundbite from CBS. The website's unusable for most people. Insurance companies getting duplicate forms, records of people enrolling, unenrolling, re-enrolling. And all of this is very personal information, and who knows who's got it now. I mean, the people that filled it out have no idea. So here's Aaron Burnett from CNN, clip number 3. And you can sense the disgust in her voice as she talks about this rollout. And then listen to what she says about Kathleen Sebelius, who's at the top of the food chain. Let's listen.
We have some breaking news. An official from the Department of Health and Human Services confirming to CNN that the glitch-filled ObamaCare website will be coming down this weekend for maintenance. Now, this comes on the same day that new problems with the rollout were exposed, and an official from the Health and Human Services Department says Secretary Kathleen Sebelius will not be available to answer questions at a congressional hearing next week on what went wrong. Although I can tell you at this moment, we have just found out that this Health and Human Services Secretary, I'm looking here at my BlackBerry, actually has the time to appear at the inaugural Kennedy Forum Gala the night before in Boston. So she'll be in Boston at a gala, but unable to testify on the Obamacare rollout in Washington the next day.
Now, that's CNN. That's Erin Burnett. And you can just kind of sense the sarcasm dripping from her lips as she's talking about the fact that this thing, I mean, glitch is too weak a word. This is a catastrophic failure. Even Aaron Klein this morning saying, hey, the word glitch, way too weak a term for this thing. This is a failure of epic proportions. And so Erin Burnett saying, hey, look, Kathleen Sebelius, she's at the top of the pyramid. She's responsible for this. She's going to be off partying in Boston at some Kennedy Forum gala. And she's just simply too busy to have time for Congress to explain what in the world went wrong. But clip 4, Chuck Todd says, look, Kathleen Sebelius may not, in fact, be off the hook. Let's listen.
Obamacare, just a few seconds. How does the president try to change this trajectory? He's going to be talking tomorrow.
Well, there's a couple things. I think one, if all else fails, they're going to have to find a fall person, somebody, and say, you know what, this didn't work. Fire somebody, maybe high profile. Kathleen Sebelius is very nervous about her standing with the president. Who knows what happens, but that would be the ultimate sort of, if all else fails, bring in somebody to quote-unquote fix this.
So, in other words, what Chuck Todd is saying, what he's picking up is Kathleen Sebelius' job is on the line. And the reality is there's no way the media is going to let Obama take the fall for this thing. I'm looking at a piece from Time magazine. No more apologies. Why Obama has to get mad about his broken Obamacare websites. Now, what's the implication there? Obama doesn't have anything to do with this. It's the people around him that have let him down. Nothing wrong with his idea. Nothing wrong with his plan. It's he's surrounded by nincompoops. He's surrounded by people that are bozos. He's surrounded by people that can't program their way out of a wet paper bag. And it's time for Obama to get serious and find somebody to blame, because there's no way they're going to pin this on Barack Obama. Focal Point, AFR Talk.